Hey there, gang. It is time for another comic book unboxing video. This time out, we will be looking at 3 small consignments of CGC books and 3 small consignments of Raw books. I have no idea what we're going to see. I know what I've got to work with, but I don't know what the actual books are. It's going to be as much a surprise for me as it is for you. So if you like comic books, stick around. We're going to have some fun. Hey there, Bobby. Welcome to Shanghai. My name is Duke, and this is an unboxing video. As I said, we've got the 6 lots here that I will be dealing with, 6 different consigners, a mix of CGC and Raw books. So please do like, share, subscribe, comment away, do all the groovy things. And as I record this, yes, we are still working on the great 1,000 subscriber giveaway contest. We're about 15 or 16 subscribers away. Hey there, gang. Time Ranger Duke reporting to you from, well, not the future, as it turns out. I'm actually coming to you from the present. From the present by necessity, because the video that you are about to watch is filmed way in the past. Almost 2 years old, I think. This video was recorded back when I still worked for the giant corporate online auction house, which shall not be named. And I had a couple of these still kind of in the can that I had recorded and never posted when things went really south. And as I'm trying to gear up and get the channel back together, I'm kind of using these as sort of a test, just to even remember how to upload stuff. Has anything with the interface changed since the last time I played with it? So that's what this is all about. I did want to jump in here just for anybody who's new. You older folks will already, know a lot of this stuff, but for anyone that's new, these comic books did belong to, again, the giant corporate online auction house that I used to work for, grading comics, managing online auctions. So they're not mine. I have gone in and edited out all reference to and promotion of the giant corporate online auction house, which shall not be named. So if the video seems a little herky-jerky, helter-skelter, off-kilter, granted, that's because I myself am a little herky-jerky, helter-skelter, off-kilter, but also that's why, because there's been some editing. I do also want to mention for any newbies that the great 1,000 subscriber video contest, or excuse me, the great 1,000 subscriber contest that is probably mentioned in this video and certainly in some other recent videos if you go back. I never did make contact with the winner of that contest. There was a redrawing, a runner-up, and that was Rick Veith. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but he was the winner. I still haven't got those books out to him all this time later. That's my fault. That is my opportunity for improvement, if you will. For reasons I will explain to you at the end of the video. All the personal natter stuff I thought I would kick to the end. I know some of you who were around back when this channel was active before might have an interest, but I'll kick that to the end because most people won't care, nor should they. So there's that. But there was, in fact, a winner, and that is those books are going to go out soon, hopefully. And the other thing, I think in some places I mentioned a 5,000 subscriber giveaway contest. We're going to cap that because I just don't think there's any point. Frankly, comic book videos are kind of a niche thing on YouTube. The way I do it is nichier still. And let's be honest, if we all live long enough to see the sun swell into a red giant and burn the earth to a crisp and swallow it whole, I still will not have got to 5,000 subscribers. So there is no point. But anyway, enjoy the comic books coming up here, and if you do have any interest in what's been going on and what I hope will go on, then stick around to the end of the video. So let's take a look, see what we've got here. This first book, this is a single book consignment, and there it is. That is a CGC copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 50. This classic John Romita cover of Spidey, or Peter actually kind of walking away forlornly from his heroic identity. But this is the first appearance of Kingpin in this book. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool right there. It's a 6.0, good, solid, mid-grade, nice looking book. And that will definitely go to one of the upcoming
weekly auctions. Now let's take a look here. This has actually got a raw book in it as well. Let's see what we've got here. Again, this is just a single consignment. Ultimate Comics All New Spider-Man issue number 1. I'm not going to take that out of the bag, but there it is. Because here's how the sausage is made. I usually use the Mego action figure, not just because I love Mego and I'm uber geek and all that kind of stuff, but also it helps mark where to place the book. So that's what this ruler is all about. But I noticed that the ruler's kind of moving. So probably by the time this video is over, I'll be like showing half of the book over here in one corner. We'll just have to deal with it as it is, I guess. So that's all right. That's pretty cool right there. And then the here we go. Here we go. This book is kind of taken off. Ultimate Fallout number 4, 9.2, so a near mint minus. But that's the first appearance of Miles Morales, I believe. Actually, it says right there, first appearance of the new Spider-Man, of Miles Morales. So there you go. I believe we got a second Miles animated movie coming out here in the semi-near future. Our next consignment, this will be the last of the CGC books. Here you go. Fantastic Four number 48. The Coming of Galactus, a 3.0. That is a really nice looking 3.0 though. You can see we've got a little bit of a top spine split here. CGC, as I've mentioned in recent videos, CGC has been kind of all over the map lately. I just processed a couple of amazing fantasy number 15s, actually 3 of them. And the 1.8 looked way better than the 2.0. Let's see what else we have in this particular lot. It looks like there's 2 more books here. 2 more CGC books. Hey, here's a book you've seen a lot. Nice solid mid-grade. An arrival date there, so that's not a huge defect. And that's a pretty good looking book too for a 6.5. Of course, everything looks better in the CGC cases, doesn't it? But there's a 6.5 of Incredible Hulk 181. I just missed this book. The kind of first comic books I bought with my own weekly allowance. Big old $2. $2 per week was my allowance in the mid-70s when I was about 7, 8, 9 years old. And I just missed this book. I came in right at the tail end of the 25-cent era. And my personal golden age is, of course, the 30, 35-cent books. So that gives you some idea to how old I am. Go ahead and leave a comment if you dare in the comments. Leave a comment in the comments. There's a brilliant thing to say. But let me know how old you are. What was your golden age? Are you a Bronze Age baby like me, or are you more of a Copper Age, Diamond Age, or are you perhaps Silver Age? And here it is, 49. That's the second appearance of Galactus and Silver Surfer. Actually, it's the first full appearance. First appearance of Galactus in the previous issue was just like a last page cameo. But this is both their first cover appearance, first full appearance for Galactus, second appearance overall, and second appearance of the Surfer. Classic Kirby cover. That's just a nice Kirby cover. Somewhere, I can't remember where. God, I wish I could. These hands were used on some product, like not related to comic books, if I recall. So if you knew what, and it wasn't like the, what's his name there that did the pop art around this era and stole pretty liberally from comic book stuff, kind of outright copied. But it was some like commercial product. I don't know if you know what it is. Leave the comment below, and we'll talk about it. By golly, that's a fun channel for chatting in the comments after the video's over. All right, well now we're going to break into the raw books. So let's take a look. So all of these books are from one consignment. And so these will have to be parceled out. If I choose to put them in multi-book lots, I've only got this stack to work with. I can't mix and match them with other stuff. So here's Detective Comics 483. Also, while I'm apologizing for no flight ring, if you happen to see the microphone wires swinging in front of you, I have kind of a makeshift setup here. So this is Batman Family 483. This was a favorite book of mine, and anthology books don't do well today, but I loved DC's dollar books at the time. Here is 484, and these are in nice condition. There's Detective Comics 500 so far. So here's some ASM issues, and these are getting to the point where these are worth selling. If they're high grade, these are worth selling as individual issues. Well, they used to be. Back when we were selling on eBay, we would make lots, like we would sell it as a raw single if we thought it would bring at least $10. Would like to get 100 $150 for each lot, so probably I will pair a lot of these Spider-Mans together. There's issue 200. There's a landmark issue for sure. Here's some X-Men books. Now the X-Men certainly make good singles. 125. Nice Cockrum cover there. 126, 127. The Power of Proteus. More Proteus in 128. Dum, dum, dum. Ooh, Rom. See, now, I have wanted, since I was a kid, I have wanted an actual Rom toy. And I understand they're fairly hard to obtain. So if you've got a Rom kicking around, let me know. That's pretty good shape. I think we could do that as a single, perhaps. And that was a pretty good series. That lasted like, what, 75, 80 issues? Here's Man-Thing #1. That's actually the second Man-Thing #1. He who knows fear burns at the touch of Man-Thing. Here is, I think that's Pat Broderick on this. Little run of Captain Marvel and a revived Marvel Spotlight. This one is the one with no issue number. And it is, well, I say it's a newsstand. Most of them are newsstands at this point. The differentiation, as you know, between the newsstand and the direct sales books for Marvel came in 1979, when they initially would just put a bar across the barcode. But this was, I don't know what the story is. If they didn't put the one on, or the one fell off during printing, or something. But there is, and I also can't remember, so if you know, leave the comments down below, or I'll pop it up on the screen. I'll look it up afterwards. I can't remember if the greater part of the run has the #1, or doesn't have the 1. But we'll call that a variant issue. I'll probably put all these caps together as one lot. Let me just go ahead and turn everything around here. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, look at that. A preview of something coming. So there's #2, another #2. I believe these were all by Pat Broderick on the interior art anyway. There's 3. Another #3. #4. Oh, Steve Ditko action. Look at that. Pretty cool. Another #4. Now I won't. Yeah. It's hard because I've only got one of one. I'm not sure 2, 3, 4 makes a good lot all by itself, but I'm not sure doubling up in a one lot would be applicable either. This is definitely a single. This is, it looks in pretty good grade in that bag. That, of course, is the famous Demon in a Bottle story. It was an ongoing storyline, but here's the one where it all kind of came to a head and all the clues came together. And it's kind of funny. I remember as a kid, they built it up kind of slowly over a few issues where Tony's drinking more and more. But as a kid, just seeing those kind of prelude issues, you get the idea that drinking is cool, which is sort of the message they were most pointedly trying not to send, I guess. But anyway, there it is. So I think that'll be something worth sending to CGC. I try to limit it to, if I think the book is worth, in a CGC case, at least $200. I try to do what I think is best. You've got to bring the best return for the client, because the client has to pay, the consignor has to pay that CGC fee. So I want it to be worth it for them. I want it to bring a big enough boost in the price that it's worth doing, and that the net result is going to be big enough. And in some cases, I mean, this is a book that if it's in nice shape, a lot of buyers will want it in the CGC case. So if I get in there and I find that's at least a 9.4 or so, I'll probably ship that off to CGC. This one, though, probably will sell it raw. This one's kind of gone down a little bit. Of course, everything's gone down in the last year or so. But this one has gone down over the last decade or so as the luster has come off of Bobby here, Mockingbird, as she's not quite used as much, doesn't have quite as high a profile. Being dead will do that. But anyway, that Bobby Chase, I think that's her name, right? I'm having a senior moment. She had appeared before, But this is her first appearance as Mockingbird. This is a pretty bad drawing. That basically looks like, it kind of looks like a bad drawing of Hellcat with a bad wig. Like they took the Hellcat from Defenders, from the corner box on the Defenders, and then just, with a marker threw that wig over it. That's what it kind of looks like. I'm not supposed to make fun of the books, and I'm not making fun. It's all done with love, as you know. This is pretty cool. Tomb of Dracula. Is this a Marvel book? It's Curtis Circulation. That's what that CCC is. But I'm not 100% sure without looking if that is a Marvel book. I love how some of this stuff, though, comes in photo album bags. And we saw these in the last video, but completely separate consigner. Also send it in the photo album. So that's one consignment right there. So here's our next consignment. Not quite as many raw books in this one, but again, all raw. Let's see what we've got. We have got Amazing Spidey, King Size Special. And it's funny. These are called different things in different places. And in our previous life, just for ease of listing, because most people knew what it meant, I would just call that, Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 4. Now I'm tending to call it Amazing Spider-Man Special number 4, because that's the actual indicia title. Got to be a little more exacting, which is not a bad thing at all. But we want to make sure everybody knows exactly what it is. Oh, here's a raw version of the CGC book we saw earlier. That's pretty nice. That's a pretty good grade. I might send that to CGC. Help this person out. There's the famous first roster change, the frequent roster change trope. Roster change trope. This is where Cap's kooky quartet would begin. So out of all of these, who would you choose? Of course, Cap ended up with Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, and Hawkeye, the 3 former villains. I think I would have picked, well, probably not Rick Jones. He wouldn't have made the cut. Who's this over here? Oh, that's Executioner Enchantress. They're out. Wasp would be in, but not in that costume. That's not a good costume. Who is this up here in the corner? I can't make that out. Yep. Kind of slim pickings at this point. Of course, these days, the Avengers used to be pretty exclusive, but these days, everybody in the Marvel Universe has been an Avenger at some point, even Spider-Man. I think, I don't know, I'll have to take a look at that, a little closer look, see if I want to send that off for certification. This one is a potential. Have to take a look at the spine, make sure it's not split. Actually, it is split right there. A little bit of a, not quite an inch long, about 3/4 of an inch. That is Marvel's first one-shot. Sometimes you see the Iron Man Submariner, damn me, Submariner, as I used to say when I was a kid, the Submariner, Iron Man Submariner one-shot listed as Marvel's first one-shot, but kind of technically this is, although it did, the regular numbering grew out of that book. Here is, speaking of Namor, speaking of him, there's Captain Marvel number 4 versus Old Subby. Marvel Collector's Item Classics. Multiple collectors, not just one. Sometimes you'll see that, the apostrophe here, and that means the book is just made for the one singular collector. and not in this title, but in different things. You will see that in some places. And here's another X-Men. Yummy yum. Yummy yum. A little bit of a bend in this one, though, and that's weird. Huh. But that will, if we send it to CGC, we will press it first. So we'll press that right on out of there. All right, here's the last pile for this video. And while I'm working on this, let's, since we're looking at raw books, let's call the password Raw Booger. How's Raw Booger sound to you? Raw Booger is our double super extra secret password. There's the famous Todd McFarlane cover of Batman, number 423. Very nice, very nice. McFarlane, you may or may not know, he would list a little number under his signature on the Spider-Man covers during his run of Amazing Spider-Man. And that was for how many spiders he had hidden on the cover. He didn't apparently do that for bats, though, because I don't see any number under here. And if you see a question mark, that's because he lost count. And or lost them, hid them and then couldn't find them again. Here's a good book. By golly, this one will go for certification. Well, maybe not. A little rough here. We'll press it out and see what it looks like. That's a good certifiable book. That's the first appearance of She-Hulk. Here's the first appearance of Iron Fist in Marvel Premiere number 15. That's nice. Kitty Pryde, my original platonic four-color girlfriend. Had a crush on Kitty Pryde when I was a youngling. There's the very famous cover, the iconic cover, copied, or I should say not copied, homaged many times. X-Men number 141, and there's 142. This one's a newsstand copy. The other one was direct sales. Here's the first appearance of Mr. Sinister, Uncanny X-Men 221. Oh, and if you don't know, you probably do. If you're watching this video, you know. But in case not, I think the Uncanny was first used with the Inhumans during their run in, no, not Amazing Adventures, during their own title. They had like 12 issues or something like that. And, the Uncanny Inhumans, it was the most uncanny heroes of them all, or something like that. That series ended, and Stan Lee chose to move the Uncanny over here to the X-Men. I think it's issue 114. Uncanny started appearing as part of the logo, but it wasn't actually incorporated into the indicia, the publishing information, usually at the bottom of the first page, as the official title, until this one right here, 142. So the first 141 issues, even after 114, where you see Uncanny X-Men on the cover, the official title is just X-Men. And then after 142 is when the official title is Uncanny X-Men. So that's useful to know when you're looking up in price guides and things like that. Here's your first Taskmaster. Easy for you to say. 196. Power Man and Iron Fist, this is number 66. This is like the third appearance of Sabretooth, I believe. I think that's what's special about this one. This is another one. The title was originally Hero for Hire. Then I think it was, issue 17, it becomes Power Man. And then with issue 50, after Iron Fist title was canceled and they merged the two into one book and it became Power Man and Iron Fist, that was only on the cover. The official title was still Power Man until I think 64, or was it this issue 66? I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. But I think what the big deal here is it's like the second, third, fourth appearance of, I think third appearance of Sabretooth. This was until recently just a common book, like a $3 or $4 book. The second Moon Knight series, Fist of Khonshu. I believe this was a 6-issue limited series. And this started to take off with the Moon Knight Disney series. This is part of Batman Year 2. Part 1 had the cover by Alan Davis. Batman with a gun. There's your Uncanny Valley feeling right there. And then the rest of the run, the story arc, 4 parts, they are, in fact, Todd McFarlane covers. Todd McFarlane pencils, anyway. Boom, boom. I will probably put these all together as one lot. One single lot, I think, will be the best deal. I think they will maybe draw the highest bidding for the client. There's a nice Mike Mignola cover. Mike Mignola of Hellboy fame. And he doesn't have a number below his signature either for how many bats he hid. Although he didn't hide them very well. You can find them pretty easy. That's number 583 from, this feels like a modern book to me, but 1988, 980818. Wow. It's like a 35-year-old book. There may be some of you watching this video. When I was in my 20s, if you had shown me a 35-year-old book, it would have knocked my socks off. Of course, that would have been a book from the 50s. So that it feels like a common book to me, to a lot of you, but a lot of you watching this, maybe you weren't even born when that came out. So there you go. That's it. That's everything for this video. So again, I think we decided raw booger. We might have used raw booger before, but I don't care. We're going to use it again. That is the double extra super top secret password. Until next time, goodbye, good luck, and please be good to each other.
Hey, Bubbies. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed looking at those fun old comic books. So, as promised, here's kind of the deal. Here's what went down. Uh, so again, I worked for the well. Let's back up even a couple more steps. I worked for a company called Vintage Comic Books LLC, as you know, and that was the unboxing videos that I did. I was the grader of those books that went up on eBay, and as I would unbox those books, I would make the videos of that. That company got bought out by a giant corporate online auction house, which shall not be named. Uh, it was a kind of a 3 month transition period. Once we did finally get to work, it was only 3 months before they let everybody in the company go. They laid us all off, all except the owner of the company stayed with the giant corporate online auction house, which shall not be named. All of the rank and file employees were given Das Boot. That didn't turn out so bad because I found another job literally within days, so I never even bothered to file for unemployment. Problem was that that job had kind of a schedule that was it made it a little hard, not impossible to still do videos. I just had to figure out how to work that schedule. The additional problem was, however, that my wife, who you may have heard me refer to from time to time as Sainted Wife Sheila, had muscular dystrophy, as you may have known, and was getting worse and was requiring more and more care. And so, right around that same time, I was also becoming just about a full-time caretaker for her. Um, so that made getting back into the videos a little harder. Once I didn't really have access to as many old books to unbox, trying to figure out what I was going to do to keep the channel active and planning that out, finding time to do it was also a difficulty. Uh, then, so that was the balance of 2023. 2024 was just a year from hell. Around about early April, I got a diabetic foot infection that got infected. An infection that got infected. That's how infected it was. Uh, uh, so that laid me down, and then right after that, around early May, unfortunately, Sheila went into a bit of a well, not a bit of an actual death spiral. She got really sick. She had fallen in the bathroom and broke her leg. Um, So she had to go into surgery, and then there was a rehabilitation period. She eventually ended up having to go into a kind of a nursing home thing. Um, but unfortunately, although the leg recovered, she her breathing kept getting worse and worse, and she was on oxygen, and then she got pneumonia, and she was in the ICU for 3 weeks, and unfortunately passed away. So my wife died July 25th of last year. It was only about a month or so after that foot infection, which all through her death spiral I had not been, I guess, staying off of or taking care of as well as I could have or should have, and it got reinfected. And this time I got what is called osteomyelitis, um, which is a fancy way of saying the infection had gone all the way to the bone. So I had to have surgery on the foot, and then I had to stay off of the foot. I was completely, not exactly bedridden, but I couldn't put any weight on the foot for about 3 months. So that was all last fall and into the winter. And so all through that, I either didn't have the time or energy to get up and take care of those books that I got to mail out to Rich. And then for 3 months there, they're upstairs in the sanctum sanctorum, and I couldn't get upstairs, period. Um, so I do have to get those books out to Rich, and that will settle the great 1,000 subscriber giveaway contest. But here's the thing, I had been rolling around in my mind, you know, wanting to get the channel back up and running again. But now that I'm up and it's not running, walking again, uh, I want to do that, if for no other reason than have something to do. Because it's kind of like the parable of the couple that went to the wise men and said their house was too small, and wanted the wise men to tell them what to do, and the wise men said, "Bring a cow into the house." And they're like, "What? Bring a cow into the house? That doesn't make any sense." They go back, a week later. This house seems smaller than ever. Well, okay, bring the ox into the house. They bring the ox in the house. Come back and we say, "This is, I mean, the house is stuffed. It's overflowing. We can't do anything." Well, bring all the chickens and the pigs in the house. And they go back, and they're just beside themselves and they don't know what to do. And it's like, okay, well, now take everything out. And they're like, "Oh my God, the house is so huge." Same house, but it just seems so much bigger now. Well, same life, but I seem to have so much more time now. Now that I don't have Sheila to be a caretaker for, um, and still not really having put the life back together from that. It's kind of a big thing when a spouse passes. We've been married for 24 years, um, and I'm kind of a, you wouldn't know it from some of the videos maybe, but kind of a insular, asocial, you know, OG comic book. So the wife was the life. Um, there wasn't much outside of that. So getting the channel back up and running again, if only to fill the time, to have something to do, to take my mind off of what otherwise would just be, sitting here staring at four walls, wondering what to do with myself. Um, so I really have no idea what I'm going to do with the channel exactly. Uh, but if you've got any ideas, please do leave them in the comments below. But for those of you who had been regular viewers before, I thought I owed you some kind of an explanation of why I went radio silent there for almost 2 years. Um, and yeah, we'll see where things go from here. Maybe it'll be a couple of videos uploaded and I'll spin out of control and that'll be it. But I'm hopeful of getting back to some kind of regular content, comic book related, or comic book adjacent at least. Although I don't know exactly what. We do have another couple of these unboxing videos that I had in the can already recorded that I'll probably upload. And then after that, who knows? We'll make that discovery together. But until then, goodbye, good luck, and please be good to each other.